Here we have a SAT math question. Okay, let's go the problem. In the cube above, the length of diagonal PQ is 12. What is the surface area of the cube? Actually, it's a cube. Cube means like each face is a square, and the length of this diagonal PQ is given, that is 12. And we have to find the surface area of the cube. Surface area means we just have to add the areas of all the 6 faces. We have 6 squares because each face is a square, and we have 6 squares. And once I get the area of one square, I can multiply it by 6 to get the surface area of the cube. Okay, so my aim is to get the area of just one face. Let me consider the square base over here, and I assume x as the length of each side of the square base over here. Then what is the area of the square base? For that we have to multiply the side by side, that is x times x. So x square represents the area of each face. Now to get the surface area of the cube, we have to multiply the area of one face x square by 6. So now we have to get the value of 6x square, which gives the surface area of the cube. Okay, so how do you have to get the value of this 6x square? Okay, now let me draw the diagonal of the square base we have over here. Okay, so here this is a vertical line we have over here, and this angle measure between this vertical line and at any point on the base is right angle, that is 90-degree angle measure. So the angle measure between this vertical line and the diagonal of the square base I've drawn over here is a right angle. And since we have assumed x as the length of each side of the square face, so this one also represents the length of the square face we have over here. So this is also x. And let me assume the length of the diagonal of the square base as y. Okay, already we know that there is a right angle over here. The angle measure between the vertical line and the diagonal on the base. So is a right angle. Now we have a right triangle over here. In this right triangle, we can use the Pythagorean theorem. So Pythagorean theorem means a sum of the squares of two legs equals to the square of the hypotenuse. So here this PQ represents hypotenuse because it's opposite to the right angle over here. So let me square the two legs x and y in this right triangle. So x square positive y square. I just squared the two legs and added them. It must be equal to the square of the hypotenuse. That is 12. That is 12 square. Sorry. X square positive y square equals to, so the evaluation of 12 square is 144. Okay, so here there is an unknown quantity y. So how do you have to get of this unknown quantity y? For that, we can consider the right triangle we have over here. Since each face is a square, at each vertex we have a right angle. So the base over here is a square. So at each vertex of this square we have a right angle. That is, we have a right angle over here. Now we get another right triangle over here. In this right triangle, this side is hypotenuse because it's opposite to the right angle. Again, we can use Pythagorean theorem over here in this right triangle to get the value of y in terms of x. Okay, now let me use Pythagorean theorem over here in this right triangle. That is, the sum of the squares of these two legs equals to the square of the hypotenuse. So that is y square. Let me write over here x square positive x square equals to y square. So when I add x square and x square, I'm getting 2x square equals to y square. Okay, now I got the stuff that is equal to y square, that is 2x square. Now I can plug in this 2x square for this y square over here. Then I'm getting x square positive 2x square equals to 144. So when I add x square and 2x square, I'm getting 3x square equals to 144. Okay, my aim is to get the value of 6x square, which represents the surface area of the cube. So, but here we got the value of 3x square. Now to get the value of 6x square, we have to multiply both sides of this equation by 2. Okay, let me do it. 2 times 3x square equals to 2 times 144. 2 times 3x square is 6x square, and 2 times 144 is 288. Okay, now I got the value of 6x square. We know that the area of each face is just x square because x represents the length of each side of the square face. So the area of each face is x square. We have 6 faces. So 6x square represents the surface area of the cube. Since we got the value 288 as the value of 6x square, so the surface area of the cube is 288. We find this 288 in answer choice D. The correct answer choice for this question is D.